The news is live on Joy 99.7 FM here in Accra and Kumasi. We are on Love 99.5 FM live on myjoyonline.com. We are also live in all 16 regions of Ghana. We are on Jatai FM in Karagan, Lolonyo FM in Hohoi, A1 Radio in Bolgatanga. We are live on X Spaces here on Facebook. The Midday News is supported by Petrol Soul, your clean fuel in full quantity. Petrol Soul is always a delightful experience. Also brought to you by Duro Plus Ghana Limited, producers of quality PVC and HDPE pipes and water tank. We are the only water storage tank with a level indicator, and where Dura Plus goes, water flows. In this edition, minority in Parliament kickstarts processes to censure and remove Attorney General from office following the publication of an audio recording suggesting the AG influencing a witness to support his case against the minority leader.
I can count 100 people right now in MPP who have more integrity, who should be occupying that position. And I believe the president must take a decision.
Well, are you going to make a motion on the floor?
Certainly. This is a very serious matter that must not be left to go.
We have more as a private legal practitioner who says the AG deserves due process on this matter, challenges the NPP to publish the original tape if they claim the tape released by the NDC is doctored.
I have not heard the otherwise full tape, so I cannot speak to what is original and what has been doctored. Those who claim that it's been doctored would have the burden to prove the original tape.
Plus, we'll tell you about the pressure mounting on the Ghana Bar Association and Judicial Service to speak on this matter.
Hear from the Ghana Bar because this is a matter that borders on the entire legal profession and even to some extent the judicial. Even the judicial secretary would definitely have to speak to the matters involved because a sitting judge has been mentioned.
Also this afternoon, Ghana Irrigation Development Authority, GIDA, defends $12 million payment for the Pualugu Dam project as mobilization fee, but the NDC minority demands further clarification.
Who raised whatever certificate, if there was none? Who authorized payment? Why did the finance minister do that? Why did the ministers do that? Who are the 10-car officers? Where did the money land?
Also, 10 months of unpaid salaries, another benefit forces workers of the produce buying company of Cocoa Board to speak up.
Mr. President, you are not our target, but we can assure you that we will hit the street because PBC as an institution, we have a staff quantum of about 33,000.
Details of that, we have sports.
Black Stars coach Otuado has dropped Ghana captain Andre Ayew from the squad for the World Cup qualifiers.
Well, we have details of that, and as we continue our dialysis crisis, we'll bring you the story of 25-year-old Dede Mensah, who lost both parents at a very young age and was forced by complications with her kidney to drop out of senior high school.
I don't drink water. I don't eat. Even when I'm thirsty, I'll be there. I won't drink because I know if I drink, I will suffer, so I won't drink.
We have that and more in this afternoon's edition of the Midday News. I am Emefa Apawu. This is your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. Thanks for staying on. Now, ahead of Parliament resuming on the 11th of June, the minority have kick-started processes to initiate a censure motion against the Attorney General Godfrey Yeboah-Dame in the alleged witness tampering scandal. The NDC on Tuesday published a phone recording allegedly showing the AG coaching an accused person, Richard Jakpa, to fabricate evidence against minority leader Dr. Ato Forson and have demanded that the AG resigns or be fired by the president. The NDC minority have vowed to get to the bottom of the allegations and will use the route of censure if the president does not act. Listen to Minority Chief Whip Kwame Gavin-Sagboja speaking to my colleague Kwikwa Sante.
There are so many people in MPP who can occupy the position, a higher position of, Attorney General, Minister of Justice. Godfrey Dame is the last person that should occupy that position. His lack of understanding of procurement, his lack of decorum, his lack of integrity is glaring. Isn't it, very shocking? The same Attorney General who is prosecuting somebody on a case like this which doesn't even exist actually authorized the payment of $2.5 million. The judiciary must be able to bring sanity in our environment. And unfortunately, Godfrey Dame does not qualify to be Attorney General. I can count 100 people right now in MPP who have more integrity, who should be occupying that position. And I believe the president must take a decision currently.
Back on the 11th, well, are you going to make a motion on the floor?
Certainly. This is a very serious matter that must not be left to go. I mean, you can see that all the things, he's actually even said things that are very incriminating.
And as the governing New Patriotic Party dismisses the call recording published as doctored, a private legal practitioner, Bobby Banson, says the party must produce the original tape if they claim the tape in public is doctored. He, however, says the Attorney General deserves an opportunity to clear his name.
I have not heard the otherwise full tape, so I cannot speak to what is original and what has been doctored. Those who claim that it's been doctored would have the burden to prove the original tape. I have not heard it. As it stands now, there may have been allegedly an attempt by the Attorney General, but which attempt was not successful. And so this recording, these discussions, in my opinion, should not have an effect on the outcome of the trial. If the presidency, in the light of all these allegations, would allow the AG to remain in office and to champion the prosecution of these matters, then the ethics are not good. Because we've had instances in recent times when somebody like Apawu was asked to step aside on allegations of corruption, as it were, until investigations were completed. So if we go by that standard, then you expect the presidency or to take a similar step in this regard. If investigations are completed and the Attorney General is cleared, I believe that it will be available for everybody to make that judgment call. I mean, if I were him, I would step aside.
Well, this is a position medical doctor and former NPP presidential aspirant Arthur Kennedy agrees with. He says there must be due process to unravel the full circumstance of the case.
The Attorney General met with an accused person in circumstances that were, to put it mildly, appropriate. I am prepared to believe that it is possible that the first meeting he might have been ambushed. If all these things are true, it will be difficult to see how the Attorney General maintaining his position will be good for the administration of justice. But having said that, I think we owe him due process.
True.
Which means there ought to be an investigation. And that investigation should establish facts.
Meanwhile, there's pressure mounting on the Ghana Bar Association to speak out publicly on the matter. Private legal practitioner Nick Bakpo-Samuado, who is making this call, also wants a judicial service to speak after the name of a Supreme Court judge was mentioned in the audio recording.
There are bodies who definitely must be concerned with the issues that have been raised.
Right.
Typical of them is the Ghana Bar Association. I do expect that the Ghana Bar Association would to the issue and will give us leadership in respect of how we must proceed from here. Because clearly the matters raised must be investigated.
Mm-hmm. We are yet to hear response from the Attorney General.
In such matters, I have always heard the principle that you have to hear both sides.
Right.
And then when you hear them, and then we hear from the Ghana Bar Association, right?
Right.
Yes, because this is a matter that borders on the entire legal profession and even to some extent the judiciary. Even the judicial secretary would definitely have to speak to the matters involved because a sitting judge has been mentioned.
That's Nick Bakpo-Samuado there speaking to my colleague Elton Brobe on the Pulse on the Joy News channel. Now, the Ghana Irrigation Development Authority, GIDA, has defended the $12 million paid to the contractor undertaking the Pualugu Multipurpose Irrigation Dam project. GIDA, in a press statement, says the payment formed part of the contract terms that require the contractor, Power Construction Corporation of China, to be paid a total sum of $11.9 million as a mobilization fee once the contractor could provide advance payment guarantee from a reputable bank. Already, the minority in Parliament has taken a decisive stance. While led by the ranking member on the Mines and Energy Committee, John Jinapo, they've pledged to pursue accountability vigorously after a visit to the site. And my colleague Elton Brobe joins me in studio with more from that statement. What exactly is the explanation?
It's a very long one, and they start by saying that under the contract, government was expected to pay $48.5 million. That's 12% of the total contract sum of $404 million as mobilization to the contractor, subject to the provision of an advance payment guarantee from a reputable firm. And they say that Power China, the contractor, commenced mobilization to the site in April 2021. The following are a brief description of all the activities executed by the EPC contractor after mobilizing to site. And they say that the $12 million that they've been paid to the contractor constitute environmental and social impact assessments, topographic survey and mapping, geology and geotechnical studies and drawing, soil and land suitability assessment, design report, drawings, resettlement plan, and other areas that they've done. Aside from that, they've also undertaken 5.2 kilometer access road of the main Sareba Penka Road to the contractor's camp, 4 kilometers on site, contractor's camp and site offices, construction of temporary and auxiliary facilities. Current state of the project, according to them, is that the contractor it was supposed to be financed under a $2 billion master project support agreement with the Chinese state-run Sino Hydro Corporation Limited in September 2018. Unfortunately, this arrangement stalled and government had to fall on a regular budget to finance it. Given the constraint with the national budget, government is working on an alternative dedicated funding source to ensure all components of the projects can be executed without hiccups. The contract, according to this statement, has raised IPCs awaiting payment for further money that they are required to be paid. Pending the arrangement of the alternative source of funding outside the Ministry of Finance budgetary provision, the EPC contractor has agreed to halt works on the project. This is to forestall some potential risks to the project. But they go on to say that the payment of $11.9 million was for mobilization as per the contract terms and not for final payment of work done. The payment was covered by a bank guarantee with a face value far in excess of the payment, and at no point was government at risk. Contrary to claims that no work has been done, the contractor, according to them, has delivered both pre-construction documents and some physical works, camp and access rules. Those are the two they mentioned. The general public, according to them, is assured that no payment has been made, and the 11.9 paid to the contractor was fully covered by a bank guarantee valued at $60.7 million.
So in all this, the key concern is what the way forward will be on this particular project.
They say the government is looking at other sources of funding. Until that is done, the project will have to continue to stay on the drawing board.
Wow. Okay. So that's my colleague Elton Broby there giving us details of that statement from the Ghana Irrigation Development Authority, AGIDA. Now, by the ranking member on the Mines and Energy Committee of Parliament, John Jinapo, says there are still more questions to be answered.
That you've dashed the contractor $12 million and he's absconded with that money. I mean, what kind of cock and bull story is this? You cannot be serious. What work did the contractor do? It's nothing but a scam. This guy should leave office, so we investigate them. This guy should leave office, so that just as we were subjected to all the scrutiny, including bringing military men to our houses and dragging us out with AK-47s, we wouldn't do that. But let's subject them to scrutiny, all of them. This 12 million, somebody must answer for it. Dr. Bawumia cannot retrieve this 12 million. He would not prosecute his own. So it cannot even happen. We must not even contemplate it. Let them leave. They've had 8 years. We did the feasibility, we secured funding, we handed over to them, they've messed it up. They've shown that they don't have the take, they don't have what it takes, they don't have the goodwill, they don't have even the knowledge to deal with such projects.
Well, away from the Pualugu Dam irrigation project, let's focus on the produce buying company of Cocoa Board now, and the aggrieved workers they have gathered at the Cocoa Board head office in the Ashanti region, clad in red and raged by management's refusal to pay their salaries after several engagements. They want management to immediately make that payment to avert a further industrial action. Seth Edusei is vice chairman of the Workers' Union.
Mr. President, you are not our target, but we can assure you that we will hit the street because PBC as an institution, we have a staff quantum of about 33,000. Yes. District staffs. Yes. And then when you go to pieces, the commission staffs, and then you go to their various farmers and their families, I can assure you, something of this nature happened. When the former chief executive officer was at post, the year 2016, he delayed our funding, and the farmers took offense of it. They were punished severely. And a word to a wise is enough. Yes. If the Mr. President doesn't take cue of this issue that we are talking about, and he allows things to just play because people will be singing certain songs to him, that, oh, things are working, things are working. Trust me, the people of Ghana and the staff of PBC will disappoint him. Not that we hate him, but we will not sit down to die what others are enjoying. Wow. The resources of this country is for all of us. Yes. I have seen the vice president go around making all sorts of promises, claiming that he's doing this, he'll be doing that, he'll be doing that. The route to his sources is just right close to him. Things are not met as we have declared.
Well, the workers are also calling on IOCO to launch an investigation into the management of their sample residue fund. According to the Workers' Union, millions of cedis worth of sample residue funds intended for their welfare have gone missing.
We trust you as a very good institution of the arm of the government. We expect you to take it as soon as possible. Therefore, we are saying that all this while, we have worked and also organized some sort of cocoa. As a company, we always work and then put certain cocoa down. In case of any emergency, we use some of this money to defray it. Over a period of time, we have tagged or named this particular thing as a sample residue. This sample residue, when you combine it from the period of 2016-2017 or 2017-2028, this money could have also have used to clear some of this stock of 5,471 stock. It is a figure that we want management to also come and account for.
That's the leadership of the aggrieved workers of the produce buying companies. Time for fact checking, and today we are focusing on some of the claims made by former President John Dramani Mahama at the 8th CEO Summit. Head of our research desk, Raymond Akwa, joins me in studio with more on the claims and the verdicts. Raymond, welcome. Let's start with the former president's claim on increase in unemployment from 2017 to date.
Unemployment has jumped to 14.7% from 8.5% in 2017.
What's the verdict?
This is true. According to the latest data from Ghana Statistical Service 2023 quarterly labor statistics, it is indeed true that the most recent unemployment rate is 14.7. Again, the claim on the 2017 unemployment rate is mostly true. According to the 7th round of the Ghana Living Standard Survey, unemployment rate as of 2017 was 8.4%.
Well, let's now focus on Ghana's ranking on the Global Innovation Index.
Ghana is ranked 99 out of 123 countries in the 2023 Global Innovation Index.
And the verdict?
Okay, let's do it this way. According to page 19 of the 2023 Global Index Innovation Index report, it is true that Ghana ranked indeed 99, but it's not true that this rank was over 123 countries. The rank was rather over 132 countries.
So partly true, partly false. Okay, that's fact checking with Raymond Akwa, and his team are always checking what you're saying. So just simply watch what you say. Now, her parents died when she was very young. Kidney failure some years ago later prevented her from completing her senior high school education at Impriso SHS. That is the story of 25-year-old Dede Mensah, who now struggles to get much needed dialysis treatment. She says she's been forced by the increased cost of the treatment to skip food and water intake so she wouldn't have to deal with a lot of waste in her system. Well, my colleague Maxo Agbagba has today's edition of a dialysis crisis.
Beeping sounds from the dialysis machines here at the Cape Coast Teaching Hospital. Back here in Accra at a meeting called by the leadership of the Renal Patients Association of Ghana, I've met Dede Mensah. She says she has resorted to skipping food and water intake so she wouldn't have to deal with a lot of waste in her system.
I don't drink water, I don't eat. Even when I'm thirsty, I'll be there, I won't drink because I know if I drink, I will suffer, so I won't drink.
I've met 16-year-old SHS student Rosemary Boidu. She says aside from the difficulty in raising money for a much-needed dialysis, it affects her academics too.
Sometimes, because of the dialysis, I don't go to school on Mondays and Thursdays. I'll come for dialysis. Whenever I go to school, sometimes I'll be confused, especially when they treat mass. We are pleading with government to help us with the dialysis. We are suffering. We are pleading them to help us, pay them money for us so that we can dial at least 2 times or 3 times a week.
Rosemary has now been receiving support for her dialysis treatment. Her mother says they need money for a kidney transplant. Former General Secretary of the Ghana Medical Association, Dr. Titus Bayo, wants dialysis treatment to be made free.
We are looking at it. I think ultimately dialysis must be free. And we have to have a funding mechanism. My other submission on this is that if you look at the kidney situation we are discussing, the prevalence of chronic kidney disease, about 17% in Ghana, means that this condition is even more prevalent than HIV. Has it gotten the needed attention like HIV?
During a big conversation on dialysis crisis organized by Joy News sometime last year, Presidential Advisor on Health Dr. Anthony Nsiasare listed what government is doing to bring relief to people like Priscilla, Stacy, and Dede. But a year on, we ask how far have we come with implementing some of these promises?
There's a document which is being reviewed so that we have a law, so that we can harvest the organ, we can store the organ, and also donate the organ. It's not only for kidney, because kidney transplant is one of the most not so complicated things that we can do, as any surgeon can do.
And that's our dialysis crisis there, put together by my colleague Maxwell Agbagba. Now, the Accident Victim Support Ghana is calling for the arrest of actor Kojun Kansa, popularly known as Lil Wayne, over what they describe as recklessness on his part, resulting in a head-on collision on Saturday at Amokum in the Ashanti region that claimed the life of a 3-year-old, Emmanuel Richard Ampoma. They believe the actor should be held accountable for his actions. Reverend Cyril Crabb is the president of the unit.
He should have been arrested by now. He should have been questioned by now. And I said proper policing because he should have been detained. He shouldn't have been released. This is an accident. It's an accident. Head-on collision. Again, he should have been detained. That must be enforced. And he shouldn't have been allowed to be walking around because he himself was hurt. So his health matters. What if as he came out, he died? Mind you, he's the culprit. And we are going to get him to narrate the incident. We are going to use him to investigate the accident. And here is the case. He's out there. The night the case happened, the next day he went to church.
Now, he also expressed worry over the increasing recklessness of celebrities on the roads and inability of the police to enforce road traffic laws equally.
I think that the police, we must, in this case, raise the bar of enforcement to check this recklessness on behalf of our celebrities. If I'm not afraid to say, we are seeing too much on their side, and police must not see their popularity as they are above the law on our roads. They must be checked. They must be put to order. If they are driving reckless, we see Okada, whenever a celebrity is coming, we see recklessness in there.
Meanwhile, family members of the 3-year-old boy Emmanuel Richard Ampoma, who died in that accident, are enraged by what they describe as the one-sided focus of dealing with the issue. Kofi Abuaji, senior brother to the victim's father, who is currently struggling in the hospital, is displeased with the indifferent approach and attitudes from the actor Lil Wayne and his management.
Police case, leading case, police for no, yeah, doesn't kind of call. Now you could true statement, but now my brother so call assessment to Confanochi and the inspector.
We are yet to write a police statement on it tomorrow. We haven't concluded on the criminalities of it. Meanwhile, Lil Wayne and his management have shown utter indifference to us.
Sympathize with the family. They come to annoy the family. There are certain formalities here. There was no matter Usika said you. If you be fear, a mamma kwansuni, buo kwanso.
Well, we'll take a quick break here on the Midday News, live on Joy 99.7 FM in Accra and Kumasi on Love 99.5 FM, also on myjoyonline.com. We're live in all 16 regions. Midday News is supported by Petrosol, your clean fuel in full quantity. Petrosol, always a delightful experience. Also brought to you by Duraplus Ghana Limited, producers of quality PVC and HDPE pipes and water tank. We'll return from the break with more. Please do stay.
When budgets are tight and money difficult to come by, you want to be sure you get the best value for your money. These are not times to be spending money fixing expensive engine problems because of cheap fuel and lubricants. Drive to a Petrosol station today and buy your quality fuel and lubricants, and rest assured of fuel that lasts long and lubricants that prevent expensive engine problems. Hear the sound. Petrosol, clean fuel in full quantity.
The regular football season is over. But not for us here at Supersport. We've got a big deal coming your way. Get connected to DSTV to see some of football's biggest names starring in all 51 matches of Euro 2024, live and in HD. Now that's a big deal.
Hello, Ghana. Are you tired of the same old political rhetoric? Do you believe it is time for a change that truly represents the voices of our youth, women, and children? I present to you Nana Kwame Bediako. He is a visionary leader with a passion for making our country better through innovative industrial revolution. Together, we can change the political narrative and create a government that truly represents the interest of all citizens. Join this journey to build a better and inclusive future for all by contributing to our Save Ghana Fund campaign. Your support, no matter the amount, is not just a donation. It is an investment in the shared desire for a more prosperous, equitable, and better nation. To donate, visit www.nkb.com.gh or dial *887 *2024 #. Thank you for your support.
There is time for everything, including exclusive breastfeeding by mothers, which starts within the first 30 minutes baby is born till the time the child is 6 months old. Grandma,
Grandpa,
husbands,
let's all come on board Good Life and insist that our child takes only breast milk for the first 6 months. No food, no water, no gripe water.
Breast milk has all the nutrients the child needs to grow strong and healthy. So I ask, how is your good life?
Remember that exclusive breastfeeding for 6 months is best for baby, and good growth starts with right nutrition at birth. Good Life, live it well. It's an everyday thing. Good Life from Ghana Health Service and partners with support from USAID.
Thanks for staying with us on the Midday News. Time for sports, and Achu is here. Really, I'm surprised at the news that you're giving us. Tell us more.
Well, the Black Stars captain Andre Ayew has been dropped from Ghana's squad for the World Cup qualifiers against Mali and the Central African Republic. His deputy Thomas Partey, however, is in the squad. Cagliari midfielder Ibrahim Asante and West Brom striker Brandon Thomas Asante have been handed debut call-ups. Here's Stars coach Otuado.
It's difficult to promise victories because of football. You can be better than your opponent, and at the end they will score and they will win, or one slight mistake will happen. But I think I will take the opportunity to be brave enough to promise you that we will play good football. Because I've been studying football for a very, very long time, and for me, the boys, especially in Ghana, they like to play with the ball. This is how they grow up when they're playing on the streets. And this is what I want to implement. And I think this is the easiest thing to implement.
Well, the team will begin their campaign tomorrow.
So who will be the new captain?
The deputy, Thomas Partey.
But why are you taking the day out?
Well, he says he had an extensive conversation with Andre. Andre did not necessarily agree, but his decision stands. So, yeah.
We'll see. Let's do election headquarters now. And your election headquarters is made possible by Petrosol Clean Fuel in full quantity. SIMA, the Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, SIMA, AICPA, and SIMA together as the Association of International Certified Professional Accountants, the German Ozone Medical Center, Alternative Therapy, Dental Wellness, and Beauty. Chobox Technologies, a convenient service, and Youth Bridge Foundation, bridging gaps that bring positive youth development. And this afternoon, in the face of the city's persistent depreciation against major trading currencies, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, the flag bearer of the governing New Patriotic Party, has revealed his intentions to take a new approach to stabilize the economy if elected. The city currently trades at 15 cedis to the US dollar, with significant depreciation against the euro and the British pound. Well, he's been meeting some key stakeholders during his bold solutions for the future stakeholder engagement with labor unions. He attributed the challenge to the lack of a stable anchor for the city.
We are going to back our currency with gold. That is where I want us to go. Increasingly back our currency with gold, because it is very easy for us to do so if you keep having the gold reserves, and that will keep a lot of stability in the exchange market. Because right now we don't have an anchor to hold the currency, but if we back it with gold, it will be very stable, because its value ultimately will be reflected by the value of gold, which is very stable. And so this is a major change that I want us to bring in, to look at the management of our natural resources and look at how we can accumulate gold to back our currency and increase our reserves. And once we are accumulating gold to the level of $3 billion equivalent every year, yearly, you can just imagine what will happen in 10 years for this country. Then it just changes completely.
That's the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. They're engaging with the TUC. You'll be engaging other bodies, and my colleague Samuel Imbura is there for us to bring us more subsequently. And it's M&J.
Yes, Emefa.
This year, it looks like different things are happening.
Yes, every day we get different
Your year
conversations.
tells us what is happening. Now,
I know,
let's go
right?
through it. Jackie.
Well, Lowen is trending after he released a statement yesterday on what has been transpiring after the accident. But some netizens on social media have been fuming and expressing their concern as to the statement. Yes. So let me read.
They are really cooking here.
It has to be cooked, fried, and everything together.
Well, yes. So someone says that, first of all, you don't express gratitude in such cases. A 3-year-old is dead and you're alive. So expressing gratitude to Ghanaians, I don't know why. Similar thing happened at a Thanksgiving service. You don't need to do that. And people this comment says that you killed an innocent boy. So people have just been coming back and forth to him. There's been insult, there's been a whole lot. But then most importantly,
his statements, though?
Well, people have been asking that.
Okay.
And
Well,
also
let's leave Lorraine.
Okay, so Black Stars, Andrew Didiayu is trending, obviously. Spokesperson for the U family, Fifi Taki, put out a tweet. He says, Andrew Ayu's dedication to Ghana is unwavering and lifelong, a commitment that began in his childhood and remains unshakable to this day. Through thick and thin, he stands proudly as a son of the nation, his passion and loyalty to Ghana burning bright for all to see. We have a lot of comments coming through. Ohene Bampo says, after Otuado's press conference today, the major news will not be about who will be selected, but rather who did not. And we are all talking about Andrew Didiayu.
Yeah, I'm shocked too.
Really? Like, why now?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's how we wrap up today's edition of the Midday News. There's more when you log on to myjoyonline.com. Living Word with Pastor Mensa Otabil, the Father in His Household, episode 3. Up next, I am Emefa Apawu.